All right, this is the new CUB H16. And there have been H16s before, but this is the first kind of big leap in design. And it's come from years of CUB's experience, but also me beating the absolute bejeebers out of one for a long time. And there are a whole bunch of little details on it that I love, so I'm going to show you through it. Firstly, we're going to start right at the front. There is a redesigned stone guard. Anyone who's had a stone guard before knows that things can happen to them. This one is definitely a really, really nice design with a lot less strain on everything, but will still actually protect your car. I've had one rogue stone in 40,000 Ks. In fact, no, all up, nearly 100,000 Ks of towing a CUB with one of these guards. They are really, really worth it. Yes, you can put a stone stomper on. I don't know that you really, really need it, to be completely honest. There's a reason I haven't had one so far. So, in the front, we've got twin jerry can holders, twin gas bottle holders, the diesel heater fuel tank. These diesel heaters they really do last forever. I think, I reckon on that 8-9 litre tank, you'd probably get close to 2 months of hot water and about a week of hot air. As standard, ARC XO 750 jockey wheel. As far as I'm concerned, if you are getting a jockey wheel and you're on your off-road trailer, this is the only one that you should get. They are actually bloody bulletproof. You can snatch the thing out on them. You can do all kinds of really good stuff. They steer more easily, particularly for a single axle trailer. These are incredible. We've got a DO35 hitch at the front, and then all your standard trailer stuff. At the front, there is a huge storage cupboard. You can use it for a barbecue, you can use it for a big pull-out drawer, you can use it for a kind of sort of fridge slide thing, you put your own barbecue on. There are a whole bunch of different options, it's modular. I personally like the big pantry drawer, but choose your own adventure there. On top is a rack. Now, I don't know what the weight rating is on this, but I've put, a few bodybuilders worth of stuff on this. They are really strong, they're good tie down points, nothing seems to fall off, easy to hose off, and they don't scratch too easily, which is really nice. On the front, there is no frame on this caravan. This is a frameless composite design. So this is a composite honeycomb sandwich panel. It's all nicely pre-bent and done. So it's basically, there are 5 panels to this, aside from the floor, and it holds itself together. It's incredibly rigid, it's incredibly well insulated. They are a really, really nice thing to tow because they are light. And unlike some composite vans, stuff doesn't just fall out of the wall, which is really good as well. You hear the horror stories, and I haven't experienced them, having had one for quite a long time. At the front, there is a jockey wheel handle. That doesn't usually go there. A bag of tricks, but more importantly, a fridge slide that can hold a 95, or in fact, up to 110 litre fridge in here. I run a 95 in mine, and it's perfect. So plenty of fridge space in there. And you've also got your little accessories, the bar for the awning, and the stabilizer handles. Mount for the awning arm. In the front, the kitchen. This is a new feature on it. It had a kitchen before, but it's a different design kitchen. So incredibly easy to set up. That's done, aside from you hook up your gas connection, but the water's all pre-plumbed. In the front here, you've got your cutlery holder, or take the cutlery holder out and put whatever you want in there. More storage for whatever you like. I managed to fit all my utensils and everything in there, plates, crockery, the whole lot. A hot and cold tap, again, runs on a diesel heater, so it's a diesel hot water system. If you haven't had a diesel hot water system, they are something else compared to the gas. They just last forever. They're very fast to heat up. I reckon it uses about 100 to 150 mils of diesel a day, using kind of 80 litres a day of water. They're incredibly efficient on diesel, which gives you just really good longevity out, off grid. 3-burner Dometic gas hob. It's got a low, medium and high intensity burner. Again, that's an upgrade. Previously it had 2 medium intensities, now it has a high intensity burner, which is a really nice upgrade as well. If you want, you can move right up to the future and you can have an induction cooker here. So you can get no cost option, 2-burner induction cooker, you can plug it right in here in the side of the van. that is actually a pretty cool option and definitely something to consider if you live somewhere sunny, or you can plug into something. Fusion stereo, external speakers, you've got 240 volt power supply, you've got dual port USBs and a normal cigarette lighter plug here. And again, really easy to put away, no legs, no screwing around. As far as outdoor kitchens on caravans, it's very, very good. And this is, I think, my favorite new feature on these, and that is the new pantry. So no more setting up a table, this is your table. The door is the table, incredibly simple, why not use it accordingly? You've got nice quality stainless steel straps here. More importantly, you can get to everything. It's got lights in here and everything, but you can just get to everything while you cook. Previously, you could put things in your pantry in there, you could put things in your pantry in here, and that works, it really does. But quick and easy grab stuff here, your sauces and spices and whatever else you like, really, really is a nice feature. Going further up, double glazed windows, or double thickness windows, sorry, what do you call it? Insulated windows, which are just a bit thicker, so they've got 2 bits of plastic sandwiched together, or 2 bits of Perspex sandwiched together, and an air gap in between. And the key there is they keep heat out and heat in, or cool in and cool out, and they're slightly tinted, which is really nice during the day. Also, the lights have been moved up, so they've got really nice yellow and white lights that you can use over these, and it does create a really nice ambient light over the whole camping area. Optional step here, and bigger tyres. This is now running on a 33-inch tyre. I think it looks great. I've got 33s on my current van, and I can tell you it is quite nice off-road. Still with the ATX Cruisemaster suspension, with now the option for BCS. Now, the ATX is obviously an option with airbags and everything. As standard, they come with independent suspension with coils and shocks. Still very good suspension, but if you want the adjustability, and let's be honest, a lot of people do, these things, nothing will annoy your neighbours at camp more than your ability to level in seconds. I know from experience. So previously it was 2.5 tonnes on coils and 2.7 tonnes on airbags. Now it is 2.8 tonne across the range, so it's an increase of 300 on the coils and 100 on the airbags. So that's really good for your payloads and definitely gives you a little bit more flexibility, particularly if you want to go for the big, 200 litre water tanks or any other options that, it all adds up. So weights, we're looking at between sort of high 1900s or mid 1900s and up to 2100 if you go for absolutely everything in the kitchen sink and an aircon. Shower has been moved to this side. Now, I love this feature because I find that when I'm washing stuff, it's always here. Get that, wash your feet down, wash your hands down, wash your whatever, wash your dog, wash your kids, and then put it in the van. I almost never use that for showering. If you really want to use it for showering, of course you can. You just stand behind here and shower. So that to me is a really, really nice feature. On the rear, very little has changed except there is a new option. The option is for a rear bar on the back here. So CUB do these beautiful rear bars with trundle drawers and all that kind of stuff, and you can get jerry can holders, single spare, dual spare, double jerry can holders, wood boxes, whatever you want. Oh, not whatever you want, but a lot of different options. I really like them. Again, anything you add is going to add weight, but to me, storage-wise, that was really, really valuable on the new van, and I don't think I'd go back. So, Tetford separation toilet. This is the where the cassette comes out. It's vented, it's 12 volt, nice unit. You can also have the option for a composting toilet or a bag toilet if you like. Under here is your manifold with your water tanks and whatnot. So you got your town water, your rear water, your mid water. That is all works very well. It's great because you can isolate all your tanks as you use them. So you're not going to, if you accidentally do knock your shower or something, you're not going to just completely drain the thing. Here is a Starlink bung. That is going to let you get internal access so that you can run your Starlink cord inside if you don't have a mini. In here is your solar input if you have a blanket or whatever other solar panels you'd like to put on there. Shore power with a breaker. The power unit. There are a whole bunch of different options for this. Over here you have the diesel heater and hot water system. 3,000 watt inverter is an option. You can have up to an Alpha 100 in here You can have an Alpha 75. You can have, like in this case, we've got a Manager 30 with a RedArc BCDC Core 40. So that will separate the inputs from car, solar, etc. effectively to give you charge from a bunch of different environments, including 30 amp AC charging. You've got all of your isolation switches. It's all run through a RedVision TVMS. Really, really good system, incredibly easy for fault finding if you do have any issues, but more importantly, just really easily programmable from your phone, easy to program from inside the thing, inside the cabin, and an intuitive screen, and a lot of feedback and data on your solar and your charging from AC and your charging from the car, particularly for your power nerds. Really, really nice unit in there. And that is a breakaway controller. In here, just good old storage. It's got about 2 metric Harrys of storage in there, I reckon. Oh. But I wouldn't recommend long term. This is the same as the front compartment, just goes all the way through. And if you do have a drawer or anything, yes, you can access it from the back. So for example, I got my drawer stuck once. It's great to being able to just pull it through. So batteries, you can have up to 600 amp hours. This one is optioned with 300. So you can retrospectively add another 200 amps or just use this battery box for wet storage. So these are a vented external battery box. The advantage of that is you don't have your batteries inside for legalities, and also all your wiring and everything comes through a single gland, and you don't have to worry about any of that with dust and things like that. So these are a really, really nice option. And of course the batteries are IP67 rated, which is a very nice rating for a lithium battery. It means you can submerge them underwater for up to half an hour. Not that you can hopefully do that. Probably the biggest change you'll see is the roof. It is now molded, and it is a resin-infused core fiberglass roof. It is incredibly strong. I was literally at the factory 4 days ago jumping on one with the owner. They don't move, they don't bend. They are really, really strong. So 2 clips to release that. A button to raise it, and that's it. Sorry, 2 clips on each side, I should say. Now, dimensions of this thing. It is 16 foot long. It is 2.25 meters wide technically, but that includes the awning. So the body itself is 2.1 meters wide, and that's really important because it is only marginally wider than your average Land Cruiser or large wagon, which means it's incredibly easy to get down really narrow tracks. I've found a huge difference between this and your sort of 2.45, 2.5 meter wide vans. It really does feel like a big camper trailer and goes a very, very long way off-road. All right, let's get in and have a look at a very cool interior. So, control panel, incredibly easy to access from inside and outside. RedVision's up here, which I think is a really good spot for it because you can get to it from inside and outside. It doesn't get rained on, it doesn't get any stuff on it. They are pretty good in the weather, but still a great spot. Fusion stereo controls, these are your Cruise Master controls. As I said, there is an option for BCS, body control system, which can be fitted there, which means self-leveling, self-returning to drive height, etc. Inside, first thing you see, a much bigger fridge. Now this is a modular system. You can have a pantry or a smaller fridge and a microwave and things like that. It'd be good if I undid the latch. I really like the shape of this fridge. Drawer freezer and an upright fridge. Now you see a lot of the fridges with the little freezer at the top. Definitely not as practical as this. I really like the properly divided compartments. So, in here, separate shower and toilet. This is previously only available on the dual axle C18. Now it's in the H16. As I said, Tetford separating toilet. So turn that round and that is ready for your business. That's out of your way. So you've got your privacy in here. And then in here you've got your huge big shower. It doesn't really do it justice on camera, but that is a big, big shower. Heaps of room in here, and then your toilet out there. Really, really nice design. Nice bathroom cupboards. Hi. And plenty of space with a sink, room for your soaps and whatnot, and a mount on the roof for your shower. Internal kitchenette, we'll call it. There's no cooking built into this because, frankly, I don't find you usually need them. If you really want to, get an induction cooker or a gas cooker and put it in here temporarily, but in over a year of using one, I used it once and it was purely as an experiment. Under here you've got your water filter, because this has fresh water and then filtered water through a filter down there. All the plumbing's nice and out of the way. 3 drawers, one incredibly long drawer down here. Incredibly long. I mean, what's that? 1.2, I'd say. And a new addition, so that you don't wake your spouse up or your friend up when you're getting your clothes out, a huge big underbed drawer, second one. Great for keeping your clothes in. And that comes from underneath the CUB King bed. So CUB, I say CUB King, it's not a king, it's not a queen, it's somewhere in between. Plenty of space under here. And then you've got a storage compartment on each side. Plenty of room in there for your knickknacks. You've got your controls for the diesel heater and your air conditioner, your dimmer, USBs, lights, fans up here. On each side of the bed, you have a wireless charger, cup holder, and this new little pantry here, which I actually think would be really useful because these lights have USBs in them. Charge your devices there, perfect. You can have the option for 2 fans here, and they will have a bunk option later on. Again, a completely different design to the previous H16, and I have heard about it and think a combination of this and the C18 layout. Extra USBs here and here, and with all the new vans, they are USB PD. If you don't know what that means, it basically means you can charge your high power devices. That includes things like laptops. Don't get me wrong, it's not going to charge as fast as a normal laptop charger, but it is compatible now. So you can charge those high power devices really, really effectively. All your modern phones, all your Galaxies, all your iPads, all that sort of stuff will work on these. On the roof, Webasto air conditioner. My experience with these, incredibly efficient. And there's a little hack you can use. Put the roof down when you go to sleep. If it's a really stinking hot night and you want to preserve some power, sleep with the roof down. It's in the old money 5'3", I don't know what that is, 160 centimeters with the roof down inside this. That means you can get in very comfortably, you can still pack it very comfortably with the roof down, and more importantly, you can camp with the roof down. Put the blinds up, use the aircon. I found that with a 600 amp battery, it used about 25% of the battery overnight to run the aircon nearly all night. Also on the roof, you've got 720 watts of solar. In my experience, that can put in up to 55 amps on an amazing day. In general, sitting around the 40 amp mark, which is really, really good. As standard, they come out with 360 watts. Electronically controlled worm drives, there are 4 of them in the van. In my experience, plenty of power in them. And I've had one little hiccup and it kind of just didn't want to go up. Easiest thing in the world to override, easiest thing in the world to fault find with. It's kind of a fear of mine of getting stuck in it with, number 1, it being up when you can't drive the thing at speed, or number 2, with it being down. Honestly, a nightmare. I really like that there's a redundancy system in these where you can override it and you can reset it and you can get the thing to work. Very, very good. I've heard some horror stories from various vans. Lounge, 2, maybe 3-seater. Nice little table you can adjust wherever you like. And plenty of room if you want to put a TV or something here. So really nice setup there for internal entertainment, including your speakers from the Fusion Stereo, which you can wire into your TV, well not wire, but Bluetooth into your TV. Gives a really nice entertainment system. All of the surfaces are stainless steel, which I absolutely love. I have not managed to scratch them. I've got 2 little kids. I use knives a lot. I use rough stuff a lot. I've never properly scratched a surface on any CUB that had this sort of texture on it. Really, really tough stuff. Never seen it rust. Highly recommend that. You can option some of the vans with different tops here. I wouldn't bother. Now this isn't a review, this is a walkthrough. But I can tell you from about 50,000 Ks experience towing one of these through some of the remotest parts of WA and all over the rest of the country, they are genuinely tough. They go a very long way off-road. They're not too big. I really found traveling with people with full-size vans, I suddenly saw why people kept talking about the limitations of caravans. I've never found that towing an H16. Yes, it is bigger than a camper trailer, but it is not much bigger than your car, really. And I took it to places where everyone told me I shouldn't. I didn't break it, really. I mean, I did, but only when I actually heavily contacted. I never broke it from wear and tear. I never broke it from vibration or anything like that. I only broke it from genuinely bashing a piece of metal into a rock and then the piece of metal gave. So I really, really do like this size of van. I think for couples particularly, it's pretty hard to go past. All right. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you learned something. I hope it was useful. Cheers.